Mr. Projects. So on this video, as you can see, I've taken the rocket cover off and discovered that I have a blown head gasket. I knew this was going to happen, but I didn't think it would happen before the tune. I'm actually really lucky that I took this rocket cover off and discovered that it has a blown head gasket. Also, another sign that it has a blown head gasket is oil in the radiator. I have wiped a fair bit off, but that is oil. That's oil sitting in top. Really, when you are turboing these, you should go for an MLS head gasket and get the head all pressure tested and shimmed and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to pull this head off, get it resurfaced, do all the valve stem seals while it's out, and put a metal head gasket on it so we never have this problem again. And then we're going to send it to the tuners. So there's always something, but let's get stuck into it. So I'm just slowly taking off piece by piece. I'm going to start with the turbo and the manifold, and then I'm going to move around and probably take the radiator out after that, and then I'm going to go along and unplug everything on that side, get the motor top dead center, then pull the dizzy out, and we'll go from there. We have the turbo off, the dump is disconnected. We are now going to probably undo the dump from down there and undo the O2 sensor, take the manifold off, and probably take the radiator out after that. We'll keep going. And then we're going to start by putting this top dead center, and then we're going to undo all the head bolts and get the head out. I know I've missed a few steps along the way, but if you're doing a head gasket, surely you're going to know what you're doing. Pulled the head off, got that out of the car, unbolted everything. You can't really see anything because I don't have a light over here. But my front pulley on my timing belt, I'm very lucky that I'm doing this because the pulley that was on the front of this car, if we come over here, you can see that it is absolutely stuffed. So it really is a godsend that I'm doing this, because that would have failed on the dyno most likely, and see you later car. So another thing was, when I pulled the head off, I'll just flip this up a little bit. If you come down here, cylinder number 3, if you look at this spark plug, look at that. That's actually snapped. I just put these plugs in the other day, so I think that might be a problem from the manufacturer. So that's snapped, so that wouldn't have been good either. Figured out that the head gasket was blown in cylinder 1 and cylinder 3. So the next step is I'm going to take off all the intake, and then I'm going to, I have a snapped off stud. Also, that is not looking very good in there at all, so I'm going to replace that. I have a snapped off manifold stud on the other side, so I'm going to tack weld on a bolt. Don't really know if you can see, but it's snapped off in there. I'm going to tack weld off a little bolt onto that and get that out. Pull all the intake off, clean it up, and this will be going off to the head shop while my parts are on the way. So I now have the head out. I've cleaned all the head. I just cleaned it in fuel. We're going to go over and remove this manifold stud here. It's stuck in there. We're going to put some tack welds on that and remove that. Come over to the car. I've scraped down the block, scraped all the gasket off. I am probably going to get some light sandpaper or a knife sharpening stone, and I'm going to run that crossways across the block just to clean the surface up. So I took the head to the head shop. Within 5 minutes of leaving the head shop, he's rung me up and told me to come back because the head is cracked. The one place that I didn't look, it's cracked all the way along. So this head's stuffed, so now I'm going to have to source another head and take it back to the head shop, which I'm not happy about. That's more money. But these things happen and it sucks. Well, found a new head. I just found it on Facebook. Went and picked it up. The head's been skimmed, pretty much ready to go back into the car. I was very, very lucky about that. In this next clip, you'll see me, all I've done was pull all the rockers off and had a look to make sure there's no cracks in it. So, as you can see, I've just pulled all the rockers off and just reassembling at the moment. I inspected for cracks inside along the cam and I couldn't find any, so I was pretty happy with the end result. So this head will be ready to go back on the car. I know I just said that the head was ready to go back on the car, but to be on the safe side, I've taken it down to the shop to be skimmed because it was skimmed before, but I think it's been put on a car. So just to be on the safe side, it's gone to the head shop, getting skimmed, pressure tested and washed. Just because the gasket that I bought, it's a $300 gasket. I don't want to be bolting down a head. That's rubbish. So to be on the safe side, it's $150 to get it done. So I've just gone ahead, I've gone and got that done. And in the meantime, I have got the whizzer and I've whizzed down the block. I know I said I was going to use a sharpening stone, but I spoke to a few people and I've gone with the whizzer option and it's turned out quite nice. Also, I ran a tap down every thread, all the threads, tapped all the holes to get any debris or any grit out of the holes. And then I went along and blew them all out, and then I just whacked a bit of WD-40 down and then threw some rags on top, ready to go for when the head comes back tomorrow. So we'll get into that as soon as I get home from work tomorrow. We'll put it back together. So there's the old head. There's the head I just picked up from the machine shop. It's been skimmed, pressure tested and washed. So now I'm just going to bolt all the cam back in and all the rockers. And the car's pretty much ready to go back together. I'm going to put the intake back on, which is over there. And with the new gaskets. And we've got all the parts there. New head bolts and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to get into it. The head in. New gasket. Things are getting done. I'm going to go down, I'm going to torque all the bolts. So the motor's back together, pretty much all done. I know I missed a lot of steps along the way, but it's pretty much the same, just in reverse, putting it back together. So that's pretty much going to wrap this video up. The next video will be probably when it's off to the tuners. I've got a couple more things to do. I still haven't put the radiator in. Got to put the clutch fan back on and all the piping and stuff, but 90%'s back together. Then I'm going to put the timing light on it and get it in time. And she should be ready to rock and roll off to the tuners. But thank you for watching the video and subscribe for more videos and updates.